Who says there's nothing new under the sun? They're installing 615 new solar panels on this roof in Raleigh, home of CEI, the Digital Office.
It's more affordable now, and if you look at the long-term gains, it's worth taking a look at the bottom line and see if you want to make this investment.
North Carolina is by far the biggest solar player in the Southeast, with more than 130 companies involved in the industry, employing about 3,100 people. And Duke Energy, the nation's largest utility, is the state's biggest solar energy buyer.
We're currently purchasing more than 350 megawatts of solar energy here in the state. We just put out a proposal for 300 more. We've made some great strides in becoming a leader in solar development in the nation, and Duke Energy is proud to be part of that.
Yeah, it is amazing. The growth of the solar market in North Carolina over the last few years has been truly astounding. The real driver in North Carolina has been the policy framework that we've set up that allowed the market to grow and mature.
North Carolina is the first state in the region to require alternative energy targets. As well, the cost is falling dramatically. Its estimated installation costs have fallen 70 to 80% since 2009, much of that due to inexpensive solar panels made in China. And there are generous tax incentives from both the state and federal government.
The state's renewable energy tax credit, for example, has been around for more than 2 decades now in various forms.
The tax incentives are very, very good. The other reason is we are looking to reduce our carbon footprint. We've made a very strong effort to go green as an organization.
All this has made North Carolina a solar energy powerhouse, which is a good thing. But it also means the utility industry, once one of the most stable businesses in the world, is about to undergo some very unstable growing pains. The success of solar in North Carolina could mean huge changes for the entire electricity industry. For decades, it was always the same. The power plant generated the electricity and sent it along lines to customers. But now anybody can be a power generator. I can be one by simply installing a solar panel on my roof. And then whatever power I generate and don't use, I send to the grid for somebody else to use. That could mean big changes on who pays for electricity and how much. Depending on the contract, Duke Energy pays about 11 cents a kilowatt hour for solar generated electricity. It's a powerful incentive to install solar and helps make a still hefty investment worthwhile. CEI says it will take about 4 years to recoup installation costs. That 11 cents is the same rate Duke charges for its own power. It only costs Duke about 5 to 7 cents to make the electricity. So where does the extra money go to? Well, much of it goes into the grid to pay for repairing it, or to build more of it, or even to build a new power plant. This state-of-the-art natural gas plant cost Duke Energy $900 million to build. It's why Duke wants to reduce payments to future solar generators to make sure they pay their fair share of maintaining the grid.
They rely on that electric grid 100% of the time to ensure that they have reliable electricity. But at many times of the day, they may not be purchasing that power from the utility. So in some senses, the cost that they would normally be paying to maintain the grid that delivers that power is being shifted to other customers.
But solar advocates say solar power is an enormously valuable resource that needs continued support, not only to help the environment, but to allow people to become more energy efficient and independent. Companies like CEI make this sizable investment not only as a good business decision, but to be good stewards of their community.
It was a sizable upfront expense that we had to incur, but the other thing that we did is we partnered with North Carolina Solar Now, which is another local company, and we really are trying to do everything in our power to invest in the community that we're in.
Interestingly, Germany has already gone through this. They aggressively increased renewables, subsidizing them with tariffs on electricity ratepayers. They also shut down nuclear plants in the wake of the Japan disaster. As a result, electric bills skyrocketed, with rates 3 times what Americans pay. Hundreds of thousands of Germans are getting disconnected because they can't pay their bills. Yet the irony is that despite their increase in renewables, German carbon emissions continue to rise every year from 2010 to 2013 because renewables couldn't provide enough electricity, and they were forced to fire up coal plants to meet the need. Facing economic hardship, Germany is now scaling back those subsidies.
There's a lot of things we can learn from Germany. And I think one of the things that is very clear is that electric rates in the economy have a close alignment. If rates get too high, it can make our state uncompetitive. We have to ensure that we can keep rates as low as possible while still providing that reliable service.
In the U.S., an increased use of natural gas and more efficient cars caused carbon emissions to drop 10% over the last decade. Generating solar energy, of course, doesn't emit anything, and sunlight is free, which is why solar power is displaying so much staying power. That's what's truly new under the sun. Solar's now very bright future. And both the utilities and solar advocates want a fair deal, a way to support solar without overcharging ratepayers in the process.
Solar is alive and well in the state. It's going to continue to grow. We just have to make sure that we make sure the rules are in place to ensure that continued success for the years to come, as well as protecting our customers.
And I think what we've got right now is an opportunity to look at the system as it's starting to evolve and make sure that we're making the right policy decisions to set the structure so that we can grow into that positive future.